colleagues, it is eminent that children would undergo abuse and become neglected if there were no protection for them. The United Convention on the Rights of the Child has established 54 articles that seek to uphold the government responsible for the protection of any person below the age of 18. Two articles I will outline are Article 19, Protection from Violence, and Article 22, Refugee Children. In Article 19, the government or state parties who sign on the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child must ensure children under the age of 18 in their country must be fully protected from all forms of abuse and neglect. They take all necessary legislative, administrative, social, and educational steps to ensure the child is always protected from all forms of abuse. And when we talk about all forms of abuse, we're looking at physical, mental, maltreatment, etc. and neglect while being in the care of parents, guardians, or any other persons. There should be social programs to provide the necessary support needed for both the child and the person acting as parent or caregivers. So in the case where we have abuse and neglect, there should be in a program where they can be protected. Measures must be taken to identify reports, refer, investigate, treat, and follow up, and judicial processes following instances of child abuse or neglect. So they're not just being neglected, there are measures that needs to be taken into account when these things happen. Article 22. In Article 22, the government or state party who signed on to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child must ensure the appropriate measures are in place to ensure that the child who is considered a refugee by law must receive protection and humanitarian assistance from the host country. No abuse or neglect should be administered to that child. So, take for example, we have children coming from Venezuela. Those children, they might be with their parents or they might not be with their parents. And if they're not with their parents, it doesn't mean that they will be left alone and people will take advantage of them. There are laws to protect them. Our Convention on the Rights of the Child provide for that form of protection. Cooperation with competent intergovernmental organization or non-governmental organization with the United Nations to ensure protection and assistance with all necessary information for the reunification of a child who is without a parent. This should protect the child from being abused or neglected. Earlier I gave an example of that. Provision of the necessary protection for the child whose parent guardian cannot be located. The child without such a parent must be treated differently, and no abuse or negligence should be administered to that child. So if there is no parent around, then that doesn't give anybody the authority to say the child will be left alone or be abused in any form. Thank you.